Namaste everyone. Welcome to the Cārvāka podcast. This is your host Kushalmehra. So before I start anything today, I'm just going to let you know. So the internet and the place where I'm staying has not yet started. So I'm literally using a mobile hotspot. So it might get choppy in between because the mobile network where I'm staying is not very steady. So you might sometimes experience a lag between the audio and the video. If you do, I apologize in advance. Unfortunately, the place where I was doing the Sham Sharma show yesterday was shut today because it's Canada Day today. So everything it gets shut over here. Canada Day may there is chutti. So because of the chutti, I could not do it. Otherwise, I would have done it from there and it would have been seamless. But I wanted to, just speak today and start. I did not want to have the first day of the um, month without a podcast. I'm gonna have a podcast tomorrow too, by the way. Nikhil and I are chatting tomorrow, something similar, and we are building on some subjects. Um, and after that, obviously, Sunday भी जो patrons का session होगा और जो YouTube members का session होगा, that will be from the same location where I did, and even the next way. I have booked that room from tomorrow, like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and again next Sunday. I booked it for that many days. Yeah, and before you guys think कि Canada में internet नहीं, it's not like, it's just a weird scenario where the road we live on is like a private road, and they did not have the permission to do it. And I don't know, it's just weird, whatever it is. I'm sorry about this. I really apologize. Okay, so today's monologue ke pehle I want to acknowledge all the members. So Kupendra Shivapuram, Shravan Hijmadi, Karthik Nayak, Prabodh Me, Kapil Gund, Ocean Thakur, Rohit Zutsi, Siddharth Kashyap, Suryajit Singh, Vaishali Pandey, Aditya Chug, Aniket Singh, Ayyappa Das, Manav Chandra, Pringale, Kumar Das, Channel The GI Joe Show, Sanjeev Nair, Jay Mehta, Samir Kumar, Sankalp Sethi, PK, Shubhankar Patki, Maya Malia, Vishwanathan Sheshadri, Pulkit Kansal, Sham Ashtekar, Neeraj Khillan, AK, Raj Kapadia, Pathik, Nachiket Kulkarni, Ajay Gantayet, Gaurav Singh, Aniket Ranade, Shirang Fansalkar, Rohan Jagtap. Thank you very much for your support to the Charvak podcast. And obviously, a shout out to all the new patrons also who have joined on Patreon. Now, uh, what do I do at the Charvak podcast? Well, there are obviously, 90% of the content is basically free, which is available on this YouTube channel or on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, whatever. Also, I know most of you come on YouTube, but at least, the least you can do is go to Spotify and go on iTunes and leave a review and leave a rating, at least over there. That also tends to help the podcast. Other than that, you know how to support the podcast. So one could be buying merch like this. You can go to kadakmerch.com, or you can go to kushalmehra.com/shop, and you can place your orders there. For folks outside India, your only option is kadakmerch.com as of now. Um Other than that, there are two ways of becoming a member. You can either become a member on YouTube, or you can become a member on Patreon. There are two basic tiers: $5 and above and $5 and below. The $5 and below get access to the entire AIT, OIT, AMT series, which I have put up on Patreon and on YouTube too. In the community tab, you can go and just click, and you will get all the content. Other than that, if you pledge $5 and above, what do you get? On top of the AIT, OIT, AMT content, which right now we're discussing the Rigveda, we are on the sixth mandala. Other than that, you get access to the entire Valmiki Ramayana discussions, which I call them the understanding and experiencing religion. And over and above that, you get one opportunity to speak with me every month. I just finished the AMA of last month. Again, I could not do it yesterday because I had the Sham Sharma show. So I finished my AMA of June just now, before I started the monologue 10 minutes before. And now, so the AMA of July is still there. So if you are a member, or you are going to become a member, you will get the July AMA, which will happen at the end of the month. And that's about it. Or some people don't like to become members and like to send their donations directly through UPI. So the UPI ID. I don't need to say that. I mean, it's kushalmehra at ICICI, and you can send your donations there directly. So having said that, all of that is out of the way. The monologue is standard. You know how the monologue goes. I will try to speak for not beyond 30 minutes. So I've already eaten up like 6 minutes or so. I will not try to speak beyond a certain point, because the aim of these monologues is me speaking. But beyond a point, I want to talk to all of you. I want to answer your questions. So questions, how do I answer questions? You guys can ask your super chats, or you can send your UPI donations and I can look them up. And you can email me your UPI questions at kushalmehra81 at gmail.com, like you always do. Or you can tweet them at me, I guess. Twitter पे भी देख सकता हूँ मैं, at the rate Kushal_Mehra, but I would prefer the email. Now, okay, so today's topic, as I had said, it was titled "We Are All Kanhaiya Lal." Now, why did I say that? Now, I could have used many other names, because unfortunately, in this shit show that we are all part of, Kanhaiya Lal was not the first person who was the victim of Islamofascism, Islamism, Islamic bigotry, whether it was the Sikh gurus, whether it was the Marathas, whether it was the Rajputs before that in many occasions, whether it was the Raja Dahej of Sindh. We have a history of being victims of Islamism. But today, I just want to say this, that we are all Kanhaiya Lal. And I say this with all seriousness. And I'm not mincing our words. We are all Kanhaiya Lal, and I'm going to sit here and try to express my views of why we are all Kanhaiya Lal. Whether we like it or not, blasphemy is an Abrahamic concept. Whether we like it or not, idolatry is condemned in Abrahamism. Whether we like it or not, that is never going to change. And if that is the case, we are all Kanhaiya Lal. Yes, at a personal level, I'm a disbeliever. At a personal level, I am a Nastik Nirishwarwadi. But I have never considered myself to be not to be a part of this culture. I have never considered myself not to be part of the story of India. I have never considered the murtis in the temples as not part of my culture. I've never considered myself to be in a situation where I don't bow down in front of a murti. I may not see the divinity in it. I'm not going to lie there. But I will bow down to a temple murti. When I see Krishna, I will bow down to Krishna. When I see Sri Ram or Mahavir or the Gurus, I will bow down to them. Do I agree with everything they have said or what has been written? No. Do I criticize things? Yes. But this is my culture. This is my society. I'm part of it. And what has happened with that poor man? What was that man's crime? So let me get this exactly. That man, Kanhaiya Lal, that tailor, his crime was that he said on social media, I support Nupur Sharma. That's what he said, right? He said, I support Nupur Sharma. And for that, those two monsters, they took a machete and they killed him. Well, today from this platform, I want to announce once again, it's not the first time I've done it, I've said it before. I support Nupur Sharma. जो करना है कर लो. I'm not going to back down. I am not going to sit here and let somebody tell me that you have to accept blasphemy. I refuse to accept blasphemy. If people want to accept blasphemy, they can. If the BJP wants to accept blasphemy, they can. If the Supreme Court of India wants to accept blasphemy, they can. I will not. I will reject blasphemy. I will not accept this rule. Now, do I want to say crass things about any religion? I have never. I don't. It's just not my nature. I don't do it. I've been on record many times stating that, insulting and doing these things are very, 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 very non productive. Even if you want to challenge religion, it is a very non productive way of challenging religion. But that's my opinion. But I stand with the right of each and every person who wants to blaspheme. You will not tell me that I cannot blaspheme, because it is not my culture. It is not my concept. 84% or 80% of India is non-Abrahamic and does not have a concept of blasphemy, and 20% of India is going to force the 80% to kowtow to this third-rated concept where I am supposed to accept something totally alien to me. I am supposed to accept that भाई 4 बीबियां होती है लोगों की, उनका कल्चर है. आई एम सपोज टू एक्सेप्ट कि भैया ट्रिपल तलाक हो जाता है, उनका कल्चर है. आई एम सपोज टू एक्सेप्ट कास्टिज्म होता है, उनका कल्चर है. आई एम सपोज टू एक्सेप्ट कि क्रिश्चियन लॉ में अंदर डिवोर्स देना नेक्स्ट टू इम्पॉसिबल है. आई एम सपोज टू एक्सेप्ट. नहीं करेंगे, मैं तो नहीं करूंगा. आई रिफ्यूज टू एक्सेप्ट नॉनसेंस. व्हाट काइंड ऑफ गार्बेज इज दिस? आप सरेआम जाके किसी का गला काट देते हो और उसके बाद में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया आके बोलती है ये सब तुम्हारा किया धरा है. व्हाट इज द सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया ट्राइंग टू से? इज द सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया ट्राइंग टू डू विक्टिम शेमिंग एंड विक्टिम ब्लेमिंग? You know what today the Supreme Court's remarks have done? The Supreme Court's remarks today are a classic case where a woman gets raped and somebody in our society goes and tells that woman, अरे तूने तो कपड़े ही ऐसे पहने थे ना, you are inviting trouble. This is what has happened. This is what the Supreme Court has said in those remarks to Nupur Sharma. This is exactly what we do not want to accept. So I am telling you from this platform, I support Nupur Sharma's right to blaspheme. I will always support her right to blaspheme. You cannot tell me that in the year 2022, in a modern democratic India, we are supposed to bow down to third-rated medieval Stone Age concepts like blasphemy. You're not going to tell me that. And if you are trying to tell me that, I'm not going to listen anyway. How many people are these people going to threaten? Look, we have to stand up to this nonsense. Because if we don't, they win. So all of you, it doesn't matter where you are, and it doesn't matter which religion you belong to. You could well be a Muslim who is a victim of these jackasses. You could well be a Muslim who is under the fear of Islamism, who does not know how to get out of this mess. Why? Because the Islamists just, they have the veto of the machete. Well, you know what? We need to tell our courts, we will blaspheme. We need to tell our politicians, grow a fucking spine. Grow it. Because this is not why we elected you for. That's what I'm trying to say. So we are all Kanhaiya Lal. We are all. It doesn't matter. Any well-meaning person, Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, atheist or not, we are all Kanhaiya Lal. We have to realize that this is a fight for our freedoms. I was shocked to see a video. मैं उसको बजाऊंगा नहीं क्योंकि वो साले बोल देंगे कि मैंने फिर से ये कॉपीराइट वायलेशन कर दिया या कुछ है. स्वाति ने एक वीडियो शेयर किया था, स्वाति गोयल शर्मा ने. I mean, what kind of a shit show this country has become? Are we down to this nonsense? मतलब क्या ये देश इतना घटिया हो चुका है कि ये यहाँ पे, सॉरी स्वाति ने नहीं शेयर किया था, मोनिका वर्मा ने शेयर किया था, आई अपोलोजाइज। मैंने मोनिका वर्मा के मैसेज को कोट ट्वीट किया था। मैं जस्ट आप लोगों को ये बताना चाहता हूँ, आई डोंट इवन नो इफ आई कैन शेयर इट विथ यू और नॉट, मुझे ये भी नहीं मालूम है। बट ये है ना, मोनिका ने ये ट्वीट किया था, ये बंदा, सो ये बंदा, लेट मी ट्राई टू प्ले इट, अगर यार वो होगा तो कॉपीराइट स्ट्राइक होगा। जस्ट लिसन टू दिस एसहोल।
की नामूस के जो शान में गुस्ताखी की है उसका बदला हम लेना जानते हैं। तीसरा जुमला, हज़रात गिरामी कद्र, बात जब नामूस की आती है तो हमने तारीख में देखा है सहाबा ने अपनी जानें कुर्बान की है, तो हम भी अगर मौका आएगा तो सब कुछ बर्दाश्त कर लेंगे। तुम मुझे गाली दो, बर्दाश्त है। तुम मेरे वालिदैन को गाली दो, बर्दाश्त है। तुम मेरे खानदानों को बुरा कहो, बर्दाश्त है। लेकिन मेरे नबी की शान में अगर एक लफ्ज भी बोला तो याद रख लो, जबान काट ली जाएगी। हाथ उठाओगे, हाथ काट लिया जाएगा। उंगली उठाओगे, उंगली काट ली जाएगी। निगाहें भी उठी ना तो निकाल कर बाहर फेंक देंगे। रात गिरामी कद्र, फिर उसके बाद तुम चाहो तो हमें जेल में डालना, तुम चाहो तो लाठियां बरसाना, हम बर्दाश्त करेंगे। लेकिन नबी की शान में गुस्ताखी बर्दाश्त न करेंगे, क्योंकि जो जान मांगोगे तो जान देंगे, तो माल मांगोगे तो माल देंगे। अगर हमसे ये ना हो सकेगा कि नबी का चाहो।
So what this guy essentially is saying is that we will not tolerate anything spoken against Prophet Muhammad. You can abuse me, you can abuse my family, you can abuse anything, but we will not tolerate it. We will give our lives, we will take lives, we will do this. And you know what the most shocking thing in this entire video was? This guy speaking here, there's a cop here, there's a cop here. How can we let this happen in this country? A man is giving an open threat. Cops are right besides him. And we say, chalega? What nonsense is this? Every time somebody comes on the road and says, Gustake Rasool ki ek hi saza, sar tan se juda, sar tan se juda. This is a direct call to violence. And in my view, I don't know, the lawyers, I asked the question to the lawyers, and it seems the lawyers who are my friends are split on this. Some think it is not a call to violence under the Brandenburg versus Ohio standard, where the clear and imminent danger is not qualified. I don't know how. So tell me this, guys, and I want your opinion also. You can even leave it in the comment section. There are mobs all over the country shouting, Gustake Rasool ki ek hi saza, sar tan se juda, sar tan se juda. The message being sent is that if you insult Prophet Muhammad, we will behead you. That is the literal message being given. And in such a scenario, somebody literally takes that up, which has happened in the gruesome murder of the tailor Kanhaiya Lal. How are those people who are constantly chanting this particular line across the country in different places at different times, how are they not party to murder? How is anybody allowed to give this call to violence directly anywhere and everywhere? How the hell can we tolerate this in a country like India? Is this a country even? Is India a country, or are we a third world shithole where anything and everything will go now? ये देश है कि नहीं है? क्या हम डेमोक्रेसी है कि नहीं है? और अगर हम नहीं है तो ये तमाशा बंद करो यार। एक आदमी को सरेआम उसके दुकान में, उसके व्यापार के अंदर जाके वीडियो निकाल के सर से खत्म कर दिया है। और हम क्या कर रहे हैं? और उसके बाद कोर्ट्स बोलती है, अरे औरत तेरी वजह से ही हुआ, तूने उकसाया उनको। किस किस्म का घटिया देश है हम? ये देश है कोई? ये है हमारा विश्वगुरु हुड? ये है हमारे जज? और पुलिस उधर खड़ी हुई है राजस्थान में, और एक आदमी ओपनली कह रहा है, हाँ मार दो, ये कर दो, वो कर दो। पुलिस क्या कर रही है? हम किससे जाके बात करें? क्या हमारे नेता क्या हमारे नेता और क्या हमारे न्यायाधीश और न्यायालय हमें यह कह रहे हैं कि हम उनके जैसे बन जाएं? अरे हम उनसे बेहतर थे। हमने एहसास किया कि लोकतंत्र एक बेहतर तरीका है। हमने एहसास किया कि मॉडर्निटी बेटर थी। क्या ये हमको ये कहना चाह रहे हैं कि नहीं, तुम तो साले टुच्चे ही रहो, टुच्चे ही मरोगे, तो तुमको टुच्चा ही बन के जीना चाहिए? क्या हमारे नेता हमको ये कहना चाहते हैं, आर आर लीडर्स टेलिंग अस टू बी थर्ड रेटेड? दैट इज द क्वेश्चन दैट वी नीड टू आस्क एवरीवन टुडे। क्या है ये? आई विल नॉट बैक डाउन फ्रॉम ब्लास्फीमिंग. I will not back down from supporting a concept like that. क्या मजाक लगा के रखा हुआ है तुम लोगों ने? क्या मतलब देश को क्या करके रख दिया है? कोर्ट्स ऐसी, पुलिस उधर खड़ी हुई है, नेता हमारे ऐसे अपना काम कर रहे हैं। सोल्यूशन क्या है? ये मेरा क्वेश्चन है आप सबसे। और मुझे मालूम है आप लोग मेरे से सहमत नहीं होगे, मुझे पता है आप लोग मेरे से सहमत नहीं होगे, मगर मैं फिर भी ये कहूंगा, देयर इज ओनली वन सोल्यूशन टू दिस प्रॉब्लम, एंड दैट इज मोर ब्लास्फेमी. You have to normalize blasphemy in India. You have to make people realize that your religion, it doesn't matter which bloody religion it is, your religion is not special. It is just an idea. Your religious gods, prophets, gurus are just another thing. Should we respect each other? Yes. I don't do it. I have never insulted Prophet Muhammad in my life. And not because I'm scared. I have not even done it with Sri Ram, Krishna. I don't do it. I don't do it to Jesus either. I accept them as a part of the human history and I take it. But you're not going to force me to accept that Jesus is my prophet. He's not. Prophet Muhammad is not my prophet. I understand he's yours, and which is why I don't do it personally. But you're not going to tell others to not talk about it. You cannot force people to not blaspheme. You cannot behead people just because they did not even blaspheme. Kanhaiya Lal, all he said was, I support Nupur Sharma. What did he mean? He meant that I support the right of Nupur Sharma to say what she did. Are we not allowed to do that in this country anymore? Is this your future? Is your solution becoming authoritarian for India? Is your solution for India is to Hindus to become like Islamists? We become a version of them. Where is the fucking law and order in this country? Are all and sundry fucking dead in this country? सब मर गए हैं क्या? कोर्ट्स मर गई हैं, पुलिस मर गए हैं, नेता मर गए हैं, और इंसान भी मर रहे हैं. एक आदमी का सर काट दिया और हम साले चूतियों के जैसे खड़े हुए हैं इधर. कुछ तो सेंस होनी चाहिए हम में. और हम कहते हैं कि हमको फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच कर्टेल करनी है. हम कहते हैं कि हमको हमारे राइट्स कर्टेल करने हैं. हम कहते हैं कि हमको जो भी राइट्स मिले हैं वो भी छोड़ दें. हम एक मरी हुई कौम है क्या? हम मर गए हैं क्या? मुर्दा कौमें ऐसी हरकतें करती हैं, जिंदा कौमें ऐसी हरकतें नहीं करती हैं. जिंदा कौमें अपने अधिकारों के लिए लड़ती हैं. मैं लड़ूंगा. मैं नहीं पीछे हटने वाला हूं. मैं नहीं मानूंगा कि तुम बोल दो जी इसके नहीं बोल सकते, उसको नहीं बोल सकते. भाई मुझे जो बोलना है उसकी मुझे अक्ल है, मगर एक सीमा होती है हर चीज की. कभी कमलेश तिवारी को मार दिया, कभी कन्हैया लाल को मार दिया, कभी गौरी लंकेश को मार दिया, कभी किसी और को मार दिया, कभी किसी और को मार दिया. और मैं नहीं कह रहा हूं कि हिंदू साइड और मुस्लिम साइड में सेम लेवल ऑफ थ्रेट है, बिल्कुल नहीं कह रहा हूं मैं. देयर इज अ डिस्प्रोपोर्शनेटली हायर थ्रेट फ्रॉम द मुस्लिम साइड, और इसमें कोई शर्म नहीं आनी चाहिए बोलने में. इसका मतलब नहीं है कि सारे मुसलमान वैसे हैं, मैंने कभी नहीं ये कहा है, और इनफैक्ट मैं उस हर इंसान के अगेंस्ट हूं जो सारे मुसलमानों को वैसे पेंट करता है। मगर ये एक फैक्ट है कि देयर इज अ डिस्प्रोपोर्शनेटली हायर थ्रेट ऑफ वायलेंस फ्रॉम द मुस्लिम साइड इनसाइड इंडिया, एंड इफ वी डोंट एक्सेप्ट दैट, वी आर ऑल फक्ड, and we should demand law and order from this country. Where is the police reform? Where are the police reforms in this country? वो लोग डंडा घुमाते रहते हैं बैठ के। क्या हो रहा क्या है इस देश में? मजाक बना के रख दिया क्या हमने इंडिया को? और मुझे बहुत दुख हो रहा है कि आज मैं गालियां दे रहा हूं, ना अपोलोजाइज, मगर मेरा दिमाग खराब हो गया है। मैं नॉर्मली अवॉइड करता हूं गालियां, आर ऑल मेंट फॉर श्याम शर्मा शो। आई ट्राई टू कीप माय पॉडकास्ट स्क्वीकी क्लीन एंड आई अपोलोजाइज फ्रॉम द सेम, बट आई कांट कंट्रोल। आई एम सो पिस्ड ऑफ टुडे। आई एम पिस्ड ऑफ at the state at which our country has become. Where have we brought our country down to? We are going to accept beheading and then blame another person and not talk about the person who has done the beheading. Do not back down. It doesn't matter if you are a diaspora Hindu, if you are a Hindu living in India. मेरे जैसे लोग जो दोनों साइड में हैं, डायस्पोरा में भी रहते हैं और यहां पे भी रहते हैं, हमारे लिए तो डबल वैमी है। बट द पॉइंट इज, वो तुम्हें दबाएंगे अगर तुम दबते रहोगे। दबना बंद करो। उन्होंने कन्हैया लाल को मारा ना, ये कह के कि आई सपोर्ट नुपुर शर्मा। मैं आज कह रहा हूं आई सपोर्ट नुपुर शर्मा। श्याम शर्मा ने कहा है ही सपोर्ट्स नुपुर शर्मा। अभिजीत अय्यर ने कहा है ही सपोर्ट्स नुपुर शर्मा। When we say we support Nupur Sharma, we mean we support the right of Nupur Sharma to say what she said. We may not agree with her. I personally did not agree with the way Nupur presented things. I would not have done it that way. But that is besides the point. Where the hell are we taking this country down to? Are we going to let the mullahs and the maulvis run this country? मुल्ले और मौलवी चलाएंगे ये देश को? उनके बाप का देश है। साले हमने वोट नहीं किया, हमारे कोई अधिकार नहीं है, हम सब उल्लू के पट्टे हैं, तो हम कर क्यों रहे हैं? बंद करो ये तमाशे को। फिर हम किसके लिए लड़ रहे हैं? इसके लिए कह रहा हूं, वी आर ऑल कन्हैया लाल। ये याद रखना, इस भ्रम में नहीं रहना कि तुम कन्हैया नहीं हो। हम सब कन्हैया लाल हैं। वो बेचारे का सर कट गया, कल तुम्हारा हो सकता है। इसके लिए बोल रहा हूं, पीछे हटना बंद करो। पीछे नहीं हटना है। कानून के दायरे में रहकर लड़ाई लड़नी है, और लड़ाई लड़ेंगे हम लोग। कुछ हैं हमारे जैसे जो लड़ेंगे, और हमको पता है हमारे ऊपर क्या थ्रेट है, मगर हम फिर भी लड़ेंगे, क्योंकि ये हमारे अस्तित्व की लड़ाई है और कुछ नहीं है। और मैं कभी पर्सनली, मैं अगेन कह रहा हूं, मैं कभी पर्सनली मैं प्रॉफिट मोहम्मद के ऊपर रिमार्क्स नहीं मारूंगा। और उसका रीजन ये नहीं है कि मैं डरता हूं, उसका रीजन ये है कि मुझे ये पसंद नहीं है ये चीजें। और मुझे मालूम था ये जो ये थर्ड क्लास स्टाइल ऑफ न्यू एथियस्टिक थॉट जो हमारे कल्चर में आ गया इवेंचुअली, ये उसी का नतीजा है। क्योंकि ये न्यू एथियस्ट ऐसी हरकतें करते थे, ये न्यू एथियस्ट ऐसी हरकतें करते थे, एक्स मुस्लिम्स ऐसी हरकतें करते हैं, क्रॉस बातें करना, और ये उसका नतीजा है। लास्ट वर्ड्स, और उसके बाद मैं आपके क्वेश्चन लूंगा, क्योंकि ऑनेस्टली मैं इतना गुस्से में हूं कि मैं और ज्यादा बोलना नहीं चाहता। आई टेक योर क्वेश्चंस। Do not support blasphemy as a concept or support blasphemy laws. Ask for police reforms in this country. There have been at least, if my memory serves me correctly, 4 Supreme Court recommendations for police reforms, and even more committee reports about police reforms. Not one government takes it up. उत्तर प्रदेश ने थोड़े बहुत किए हैं भर्ती, मगर अभी भी इस देश में पुलिस रिफॉर्म्स नहीं होते। जुडिशियरी को देखो, हमने जुडिशियल अकाउंटेबिलिटी बिल लाने की कोशिश की, जुडिशियरी ने खुद ही कैंसिल कर दिया। हम कब उतरेंगे और हम जुडिशियरी के बाहर धरना देंगे हम सब, और बोलेंगे भैया तुम्हें रिफॉर्म लाना पड़ेगा। सोल्यूशन है ज्यादा मॉडर्निटी, ज्यादा रिफॉर्म, सोल्यूशन ये नहीं है कि हम वो मुल्ला मौलवी के जैसे इस्लामिस्ट बन जाए, वो नहीं है. बिकॉज इफ वी बिकम लाइक दोस बगर्स, दे विन, वी लूज. Because they are experts at being barbaric. We are not. We are nice, good human beings. And when I say we, I mean all the well meaning Muslims, well meaning Hindus, well meaning Christians, well meaning atheists, well meaning Sikhs. We are not like them. हम उनके जैसे नहीं बन पाएंगे. उनकी गेम में मत खेलो, हारोगे. And there are more civilized people in this country than uncivilized people. And when you let your essence of your society becoming like the uncivilized people, you make them win, because you can never defeat an uncivilized person in his game. You can never defeat them. So मैं हाथ जोड़ के कह रहा हूं, नफरत करो ये 295A से, मांगो बोलने का अधिकार इस देश में. हां जाने जाएंगी, मुझे पता है जाएंगी, मगर कोई भी चेंज, there was no revolution in the history of humanity that happened without some blood being spilled. And it could well be me one day, and I'm very much aware of that. But we will not give up. We will not give up our right. Free speech is our right. I am not going to give it up. They can do what they want to do. I am with those well meaning religious people who get hurt every time something crass is said about their religion, which is why I never do it. I never do it. Could Nupur have presented her case better? Yes. But having presented a case in a bad way is not a crime. Being rude cannot be a crime. And having yourself getting beheaded for being rude and crass about a religion is unacceptable. We cannot accept गुस्ताखे रसूल की एक ही सजा सरतन से जुदा, सरतन से जुदा. We cannot accept that. Do not accept it. I refuse to accept it. This is barbarism. And if you think barbarism is fine, there is something wrong in your head. You need to go and see a psychiatrist. You go and meet a shrink, because if you think barbarism is fine, bro or sister or whatever you want to be called, you got issues. I'm going to end it here because it's almost 30 minutes, 27, 28 minutes. I'm going to take your questions now. I'm going to go all the way to the start, and then I'm going to come down to the bottom. So you can go on asking your questions, and I will go on taking them. All right? Let's see. Could we, let me see. Indian Supreme Court wants Nupur to apologize. What a sad day. I think Nupur should leave India and apply for asylum. Maybe then liberals will wake up. I actually 100% agree with you, Sid. If the courts in India think Nupur Sharma should apologize and she is responsible for the beheading of Kanhaiya Lal, indeed, all well-meaning Indians, if they get the opportunity, they should leave that shithole of a country. Seriously. It's not worth it. There's no point. There's no point. I would not blame Nupur if she left India and started seeking asylum somewhere else. Would not mind it at all. Do you think BJP will initiate impeachment proceedings against Justice Kant? No, I don't think they will. I don't think. Do you think Nupur Sharma incident escalated a lot of things? I am in no way blaming her. The Nupur Sharma incident escalated in what sense, Aditya? Are you saying things ran out of... Look, and it was going to happen. If it was not through Nupur Sharma, it was going to happen through someone else. from an analytical perspective, the Overton window in India has been pushed even more. So think about it like this. Mm, mm. There was one issue that was not allowed to be spoken about on national media or in the national discourse. वो भी हो गया, वो भी लाइन क्रॉस हो गई और बंद नहीं हो रही है और बंद नहीं होने वाली है. Will repealing NJAC help appointing? I think you have missed. You made a typo there. Appointing better judges. Indian Sharia court is now blaming Nupur for what happened to Kanhaiya. Your thoughts? I think yes. I just can't get over what the court has done, man. It's just so shame. I mean, it's just pathetic, yeah. We should all hang our heads in shame. That's all I can say. We should all hang our heads in shame as people who believe in modernity, people who believe in freedom, who believe in human rights, who believe in secularism. मैं तो secularism में मानता हूँ. I'm a secularist. It's just disappointing what the courts have done today. The courts can go to hell. और इसके ऊपर मेरे ऊपर भी कंटेम्प्ट प्रोसीडिंग कर देंगे. करते रहने दो. I don't understand what you're saying, Devrat. He could not use phone. According to his police testimony, his 11 years old son posted in WhatsApp status. That's what. मेरे को समझ नहीं पड़ रहा है, देवव्रत, आप किस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में हो. Hi Kushal, how would you approach the court? Would you drag the Islamic scriptures that endorse the violence in the court just like the... Look, Jayesh, we have not made up our mind about how do we do it. All I know is I don't care if it is a Islamic court or it's a Hindu court. If you're going to have a court where it's like this, will we accept गुस्ताखे नरेंद्र मोदी की एक ही सजा सरतन से जुदा, सरतन से जुदा? Will we accept that? If we will not accept that as normal human beings, we cannot accept the other two. It's very clear. There is no space for behead. This is not Saudi Arabia. We don't behead people, yaar. Beheading is not our thing. We are not barbaric people. I mean, I don't give a shit about what people think. यार beheading को कैसे normalize करेंगे हम? How we approach the courts, I don't know. That's for my lawyer friends to figure out. We are going to do it. I am driven to do it. Provided the condition of government institutions to protect civilians, what should we, the civilians, do? Arm ourselves up, because I don't see any other way. Look, in India, you can't arm yourself, so you can kiss goodbye to that. Your only hope is the state and making sure that the state capacity increases. What you should do is, maybe for now at least, all Indians need to organize and have a police reforms vote bank. Can we have a police reforms vote bank in India? Can we please? Can Indians for once wake the fuck up and say police reforms matter? And that voting on basis of having proper cops and proper law and order is what makes a society prosperous? Can we do that? But I guess we will not. दीपक, who was arrested according to ANI? I think you're assuming मैं assume कर रहा हूँ कि वो जो राजस्थान में जिसने ये speech दी है. They're opportunists. The moment someone close to him is actually gunned down, he will change his message and run away with his tail between his legs. Yeah, yeah, indeed. That's all I can say. I agree with you, my friend. Mm, mm. Let's be real. Bharat is a shithole country. Thanks to 75 years of appeasement, we are paying the price for not doing a population exchange in 1947. Thankfully, I'm in the US, but I feel sorry for India. Well, Sid, I'm going to be back in India. I know I'm in North America right now, but I'm going to go back in India. I'm not fucking giving up on my country. I refuse to give up on my country. I see many good things in my country. And Sid, one day I'll prove you wrong. One day, all of us Indians who live in India, and this is not me judging you in any way. I totally respect your decision. And in fact, I tell all good kids, if they get the opportunity, they should leave for better pastures. But we Indians who live in India, we will prove you wrong. We will make India better. We will. We will not give up. I will prove you wrong one day. And if I lose, I lose, but I'll die trying. Our own people cause more harm to our society than anyone else. I don't know in what context this is, but okay. Why hasn't anyone challenged 153 and 295A yet? I think challenge हुआ था मगर dismiss होते रहते हैं. If I remember, कल निखिल से ये question पूछना. Kushal, in my conversation with my Muslim friends who are quite liberal, they told me they condemn killing, but they also not accept dishonor of Prophet Muhammad. That's fine, man. That situation is like, I am a devout Hindu. I do not accept the insult towards Lord Ram, but I'm not going to kill you if you do. You see what I'm saying, Shreyans? So if that's the place where your Muslim friends are, obviously I don't expect them to not feel bad when somebody insults Prophet Muhammad, but they can't get on the street, start pelting stones and beheading people for that, because they need to basically understand that Prophet Muhammad is their prophet, like Sri Ram is not their god. So Hindus should not expect Muslims to like Sri Ram. It's not going to happen. He's not their god. So don't have unrealistic expectations. That sarva garam vada pav is not going to work. Ex-Muslims, reformist Muslims, etc. Double threat from Islamists every day. Blasphemy and apostasy. Without law and order, there is no hope. Yes, Reem, but I'm sorry. Where are the Muslim community liberals speaking up, Reem? Where do they speak up? कहाँ बात करते हैं? जावेद अख्तर क्या करते हैं? सलमान रश्दी का तो नहीं बोलना चाहिए ना, ऐसा बुरा हो जाता है. वो तुम्हारा मुस्लिम लिबरल है ना, उसको बोलना चाहिए कि नहीं बोलना चाहिए? अभी भी साले स्पिन करके नुपुर शर्मा के पीछे पड़े हुए हैं. उनको शांति नहीं मिलेगी जब तक नुपुर शर्मा को मार नहीं डालेंगे ये लोग. What are we worth? I don't know in what context. We are worth everything, and we are going to show our worth in India. Don't you feel non-Muslims should stop addressing Muhammad as a prophet in media? We don't attach prefixes to any religious figure. He's a prophet according to Islam. Why imposes? Won't this be a good start? You can say Mr. Muhammad if you want to, or Prophet Muhammad. I would call him Prophet Muhammad is because he is addressed as. See, when I'm talking to a Muslim, this is how I think, right? Like, um, they think he's the prophet of Islam, so I'm talking to them about their what they consider a prophet of Islam. So I think using the word Prophet Muhammad is not ceding any space in any way. It is their prophet. So I'm just talking to them. So I don't kind of agree with you on that. So I would not have a problem by using the word Prophet Muhammad. It is not important to go to the Is it not important to go to the grassroots of the issue? Should we not get reforms for the madrasas? Also, should the preachers of such hate be put behind bars? Each and every person who preaches hate, my friend, should be put behind bars. Each and every person. Each and every madrasa should be monitored in a video audio way. There should be artificial intelligence that should see what sermons are being given. Before you tell me, it is done in many Western countries. Vetting is very normal. And if you are going to have mullah after mullah saying sartan se juda, all of them have to be monitored and put in jail if needed. I have no shame. और अगर हिंदू भी ऐसा करेंगे, उनको भी डालो साले, नए जेल बना के इन सबको डालो, बाकी हम नॉर्मल लोगों को जीने दो. Do you think Supreme Court effectively said to change the national slogan from Satna Meva Jayate to Matsanyaya Sarvopari? Kya pata yaar. Supreme Court. See, you know how smart the Supreme Court was. All the remarks were not part of the order. All the remarks made by the Honorable Supreme Court judge were not part of the order. How smart, na? We are living in a Sharia state. Slight correction. We are living in a semi Sharia state. Why? Because 295A is a Sharia law, blasphemy. Now, it is not exactly Sharia because blasphemy is sartan se juda. But Indian state says, ये थोड़ा beheading ज़्यादा हो गया है, तुमको जेल में भेज देंगे भाई. And then we have civil Sharia. So we are a semi Sharia state. We are not entirely Sharia compliant. Small mercy. 295A will go when the Indian state acts like China. Nah, 295A will become permanent when the Indian state acts like China because China would love that. Hmm. I don't have any question, Veena. Do you think Hindu street power needs revival in let's not hold back now economic boycott of I don't agree with strategies that make no sense. Now you are free to think in those lines. I am not going to stop you from thinking on those lines. I do not endorse any kind of street violence. I believe in democracies. I do not believe all hope is lost for India. I believe in more democracy, more reforms, more freedom, more free thought. So you are free to live your life your way, and I am free to live my life my way. I understand the Supreme Court justices should be impervious, but Supreme Court also needs to be held accountable for garbage. How should we? Boss, सबसे पहले वो bill करो यार judicial accountability का. And I'm sorry, the parliamentarians should be hauled, man. जज ने ऐसे नॉनसेंसिकल रिमार्क्स मारे. स्पेशल सेशन करो पार्लियामेंट का और वो जज को सुनाओ बैठ के. जज को सुनाओ बैठ के. कर क्या रहे हैं? यहाँ तो पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज को प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंसेस तो करनी चाहिए क्रिटिसाइजिंग द जजेस ओपनली. कुछ करते ही नहीं है हम लोग. सिर्फ जनता बोलती रहती है. हम उल्लू के पठोगे जैसे बोलते रहते हैं. सारे हम ही गधे हैं. गिनती के हम 50 लोग हैं सोशल मीडिया पे जो हम हमेशा बोलते हैं. कई बार तो लगता है हम ही चूतिए हैं. You have questioned your message on Patreon. Okay, wait, I'll open Patreon up. ये मैंने नहीं सोचा था कि कोई क्वेश्चन Patreon पे भी भेज देगा. फर्स्ट नेम लास्ट नेम. भाई रुको, खोल रहा हूँ Patreon. Police reforms matter. So you're talking about defending yourselves. I think you're talking about arms and stuff like that. Look, I don't know how far in we are in terms of having arms in India. You have gun laws in India where the threat is like clearly proven, and the police and I think district magistrate or something of that sort needs to see a clear case so you can have a gun. Like in the case of Nupur, I think she has a right to a gun in India. She would easily get a gun. So yeah, so if you have an active threat, you will get it. I don't want to pretend government has no influence in judiciary in this country. And when PM has radio silence on this, why don't we ask, is Hindutva only for elections, business for friend and good? I don't know. I have not made up my mind on this. I think the PM should speak. I think the silence of PM is disturbing to me also this time. I mean, there is a beheading for fuck's sake in this country, and the PM has not spoken. I don't know. I just, and this is coming from someone who actually likes the PM. I'm a fan of the PM. So yeah, I would say it hurts. It genuinely hurts. Ah. Hmm. Why is the NIA helping Rajasthan police in portraying this as Pakistan ka hath thing? This is same as BKL Milan's putting blame on Nupur. But there is a Pakistani hat. These people were radicalized in Pakistan. यार क्या करोगे अगर वो लोग radicalized हुए थे पाकिस्तान में? How can you deny the reality? मतलब मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा। क्या है ये? रियलिटी को तो एक्सेप्ट करो भैया। I was talking about कन्हैया, he could not use the phone. So किसी ने उनके बिहाफ पे डाला है, मतलब आप ये कह रहे हो क्या हुआ है? I'm very sad and disappointed, Mohammed Sharif. I see intense communalization in my family. It's frightening, especially among the elderly, to my shock. तो भाई मेरे को एक बात बता, you clearly are a well-meaning Muslim. तू मेरे को एक बात बता, इसका सोल्यूशन क्या है? वो बच्चा याद है भिवंडी का, यार उसका नाम क्या था? साद था ना उसका नाम? वो भिवंडी वाले बच्चे का नाम क्या था? साद था, साद। वो बच्चा एथीस्ट है, ठीक है मोहम्मद। उसके घर पे पहुंच गए भिवंडी में, महाराष्ट्र में, उसको थप्पड़ मारी, उसको बोला कलमा पढ़। वो क्यों पढ़े यार? क्यों पढ़े? उसको नहीं पढ़ना यार, क्या पीछे पड़े हो? जीने दो यार लोगों को। मैं नास्तिक हूं, 18 साल की उम्र से हूं, आज 41 साल का हो गया हूं। मुझे आज तक किसी हिंदू ने कुछ नहीं बोला यार। यार अपने गिरेबान में भी तो झांक के देखना पड़ेगा कि नहीं मुसलमान कम्युनिटी को। उसको नहीं पसंद है यार तुम्हारा रिलीजन, वो है मुसलमान ओरिजिन का, उसको नहीं पसंद है, उसको क्रिटिसाइज करने दो ना। इग्नोर करना क्यों नहीं सीखते? और ये कम्युनलाइजेशन हो रही है शरीफ या मोहम्मद जो भी तुम्हारा नाम, तो वो हिंदुओं में भी होगी फिर रिवर्स में। और फिर उसका नतीजा तुम्हें मालूम है कितना हॉरेंडस होगा? Supreme Court yet again proved how they interpret law in favor of some. I agree, reforms are the only way for us. और ऑप्शन क्या है सत्या? टेल मी व्हाट ऑप्शन डू वी हैव? हमारी हालत यह है कि नंगा नहाएगा क्या, निचोड़ेगा क्या? बॉस, इंडिया को इकोनॉमिक माइट चाहिए। अगर इकोनॉमिक माइट नहीं हुई, हम लोग क्या स्ट्रीट वायलेंस खेलेंगे चमन चूतियों के जैसे? ये देश को बनाना चाहते हैं हम लोग, streetviolence.com। हम चूतिए हो गए हैं क्या सबके सब? द ओनली वे फॉरवर्ड इज रिफॉर्म्स, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, तरक्की। लोगों को पैसे दो और उनको बोलो ये इतना सीरियसली ना लो रिलीजन को, पागल हो गए हो? कॉन्सेप्ट ही तो है, और क्या है? इतना सीरियसली ले लेते हो कॉन्सेप्ट को? सटिया गए हो क्या सबके सब? Liberal Hindus Swara Bhaskar, Vishal Dadlani are very happy with what is happening to Nupur, not realizing that jihadis don't differentiate between BJP Hindus and Congress Hindus. They will come for them too. यार देखो ऐसा है कि विशाल ददलानी और स्वरा भास्कर है ना, उनकी जो इंटेलिजेंस लेवल है ना, द लीस्ट आई से, द लेस आई से द बेटर। वो लॉस्ट कॉज है। उनके ऊपर अपना टाइम बर्बाद करना बंद करो। स्वरा को तो कोई काम भी ना देते हैं, बस उसके लिए ये काम जरिया करने का यही तरीका है। विशाल ददलानी तो फिर भी मैं कहूंगा काफी टैलेंटेड बंदा है, उसका म्यूजिक का और सेंस बहुत है। बट ठीक है यार, उनको जो भौंकना है भौंकने दो, चूतिए हैं। एंड अगेन आई एम वेरी सॉरी, आज मैं गालियां दे रहा हूं, मगर सच बताऊं तो बड़ा गुस्सा आया हुआ है। मतलब ये जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो कमेंट्स दिए ना, दिमाग खराब हो गया। सर व्हाट कैन आई डू? आई एम इन यूएस एंड आई एम कमिंग बैक। भाई तुझे वापस आना है तो आ जा, नहीं तो मैं तो बोलूंगा यूएस में रह, बहुत सारे पैसे बना और आरएसएस और ऐसी बहुत अच्छी अच्छी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को पैसे भेज और उनको स्ट्रेंथन कर। असली खेला पैसे का है, याद रखना। असली खेला पैसे का है। और स्पेशली मैसेज टू ऑल हिंदूज आउटसाइड इंडिया, याद रखना ये तुम्हारी एग्जिस्टेंस भी इंडिया का हिंदू रहने से डायरेक्टली रिलेटेड है। तुम्हारे जो वट हैं यहां पे, अगर इंडिया में हिंदुओं के वट नहीं हुए तो तुम्हारे भी नहीं रहेंगे। तो इंडिया को स्ट्रांग रखो, इंडिया में पैसे भेजो। मुझे नहीं भेजो, मैं कह रहा हूं, बिल्कुल इसको गलत नहीं समझना। सेवा को भेजो, आरएसएस को भेजो, उनको स्ट्रेंथन करो, इन ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को भर भर के पैसे भेजो इनको, तभी ही हम ये लड़ाई जीतेंगे। याद रखना, ऑलमोस्ट 95% इस धरती के हिंदू भारतवर्ष में रहते हैं। 95% हिंदूज लिव इन इंडिया। Without India, the Hindu story is tatti. So never forget that. Someone needs to take this Supreme Court Milord down. Can the venom spew out of this Milord's mouth? Oh yeah, is this the? Are you seriously telling me this is the first time? Have you seen their comments on rape judgments and stuff like that? Have you seen what nonsense they spew? What kind of mindset they have? जाके सुन लो यार उनको. Do you feel people are more disappointed as a PM has kept mum on the matter? Two, how do you feel or rate the Home Minister's actions in actions? I think people are justified in being disappointed that the PM has not spoken a word. This is my personal view. I still remain a huge admirer of the PM and his work. The Home Minister, I don't blame him at all. This is just my view. Home Minister ने जो करना था कर दिया है. Home Minister act कर रहे हैं. ये मेरा व्यू है, आप डिसएग्री कर सकते हो मेरे से. According to Supreme Court, breaking mosques now by Hindus should be all right since Aurangzeb was the reason for this men now. This is according to Supreme Court logic. Excellent point, Prashant. मिलॉर्ड्स इसके लिए आपको जेल में डाल देंगे. Farhan Javed Akhtar, the atheists who want Nupur Sharma to apologize for insulting a prophet they themselves don't believe in. LOL, they will be deemed apostates in an Islamic state. They know that damn well, by the way. They know that damn well. And their betrayal hurts me the most because Javed Saab knows it much better. Javed Saab is a very learned man. Do not underestimate that man. वो काफी पढ़े लिखे हैं. काफी पढ़े लिखे हैं वो. So, yeah. Should the government reintroduce NJAC as larger pantheon of criminal justice system reforms is long pending. I wish they do. यार उन्होंने तो पहली बार डाला तो उन्होंने यार निकाल दिया. पता नहीं हमारी कोर्टें भी कैसी है. पता नहीं क्या तमाशा है साले. कोर्ट्स भी ऐसी हैं. और कुछ बोलोगे तो भेज देंगे कंटेम्प्ट ऑफ कोर्ट नोटिस. Siddesh here, is there a chance this could be staged for fomenting riots? Is it too well planned? No, 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 Siddesh, हमारी कोर्ट्स ऐसी हैं. कोर्ट्स को अभी बड़ा बड़ा बेइज्जती झेलनी है. अभी देखना एक एक करके वीडियोस निकलेंगे कोर्ट के कमेंट्स के. शुरू हो गए हैं. जरा जाके कृपा करके अभिजीत अय्यर और बाकी लोगों के टीएल पढ़ना शुरू कर दें. आप वीडियोस आने वाले हैं. कोर्ट्स कितने लोगों को कंटेम्प्ट नोटिस भेजेगी? अगर हम लोग 1 करोड़ लोग कोर्ट के ये वीडियोस करके कर देंगे, कोर्ट हम सबको कंटेम्प्ट करेगी कि प्रशांत भूषण जैसे 1-1 रुपए कलेक्ट करेगी हमसे? शर्म आनी चाहिए कोर्ट्स को जो उन्होंने आज नुपुर के साथ किया है. Do you think the Supreme Court provided a soft justification which will have long term consequences? Now, mainstream narrative is actually being built around revenge. Absolutely, Manav. They have done victim blaming, victim shaming. The court should be ashamed of its remarks today. And let me be categorical in saying this. Yes, I, Kushalmehra, of the Cārvāka podcast, am deeply disappointed by the court's remarks today. और आज मुझे गुस्सा ही इस बात के लिए आ रहा है कि आपने एक बंदी के ऊपर डेथ थ्रेट है, आपने उसकी डेथ थ्रेट को तो साइड कर दिया. आपने उसको बोला हाँ जिधर जिधर एफआईआर मारनी है मारो, पूरी जिंदगी घूमते रहो, बस तमाशे बना दिए. एफआईआर क्लब भी नहीं करने दिए उस बेचारी को. पता नहीं क्या समझ के रखा है इस देश में. बेहुदा हरकतें हैं, हद होती है यार. हाउ आर सेडिशन ब्लास्फेमी डिफरेंट एज कॉन्स्ट्रक्ट्स? ऑनेस्टली मैं तो भैया सेडिशन लॉ भी नहीं सपोर्ट करता हूं, तो आप इफ यू आर ट्राइंग टू पिन मी ऑन दैट, मैं तो भैया सीधा बोलता हूं कि ये नेशनलिज्म पेट्रियटिज्म जो भी है, मैं समझता हूं इंडिया की टेरिटोरियल इंटेग्रिटी सैक्रोसैंक्ट है, एंड उसमें मैं हॉक हूं। बाकी भाई सेडिशन लॉ को भी इंडिया को डाइल्यूट करना पड़ेगा। बहुत ही घटिया किस्म का सेडिशन लॉ है इंडिया का। तो अगर आप मेरे से उम्मीद कर रहे हो कि मैं सेडिशन लॉ के लिए अपॉलजिया दूंगा, नहीं दूंगा भाई, हम तो उसके अभी के अगेंस्ट हैं। आप मुझे शायद फॉलो नहीं करते हो इतना। Well, I hate the Indian state. I'm coming back for the love of my country. I wish you the best, my friend. I wish you the best. Fight. We're not going to give up on India. I wish you the best. Oh. Pakistan's involvement absolves Islamists among Indian Muslims of the heinous crime and gets rid of the collective guilt on Indian Muslim community. I don't think so. I don't think so. It does it at all. This is your way of looking at it. I don't think so. Ronnie. Vishal Dadlani is Sindhi Hindu. Rahul Gandhi is Kashmiri Pandit, Parsi origin. Barkha Dutt, descendant of partition migrants. Nidhi Razdan, Kashmiri Pandit. They were themselves victim of Islam and now become liberals. यार अभी क्या बोले यार अभी? अब अगर आप मेरे से उम्मीद कर रहे हो कि मैं उनको डिफेंड करूं, मैं तो नहीं करने वाला ना। अब मैं क्या बोलूं आपको? आप मेरे को बताओ मैं क्या बोलूं? अब अब वो हैं ऐसे, तो मैं क्या करूं भैया? मैं थोड़ा पीठ के लिए वो बैक कर रहा हूं, इसके लिए आपको लग रहा होगा कि मैं क्या कर रहा हूं। हम्म। Indian democracy punishes those who don't riot. Supreme Court has proved once again that the mob rule is superior to courts, law enforcement, and elected governments. Spot on. And this is what we need to change. We cannot let the Supreme Court tell us that how dare you be civilized. We cannot let the Supreme Court tell us that. We cannot let the politicians tell us that because we are civilized, we are wrong. How the hell are we wrong? We are not. We are not wrong. We are civilized people. You told us to follow the law. We followed the law. You told us to not break rules. We did not break rules. Now you're gonna bow down to the freaking mob. That's the whole point. We can vote and choose our politicians. What can we do about the rogue Supreme Court judges with immediate effect when something like this happens? We can tell our politicians to choose better judges. We have to make that happen. We have to tell our politicians to make the change the system of appointing judges in India. That's what we do. We cannot let the judges select judges and be, a institution in themselves. How do we get reforms in judiciary when government is unwilling, judiciary is unwilling, media is unwilling, and these people set election narratives? Who will bring the change? Do not blame the government. The government was very much willing. The Supreme Court struck it down. In this, I'll stand up for the government. They have to try again now. यूपीआई क्वेश्चन भेजा है भाई मानव, आपने यूपीआई क्वेश्चन भेजा है। ओके, ठीक है, मैं देखता हूँ। ईमेल खोलता हूँ मैं अपना। जस्ट गिव मी अ सेकंड। Religious extremism will actually deteriorate with socio-economic stability. Sweden has a good economy, still suffering. Shouldn't a wider sense of reforms be done? देखो, religious extremism in Sweden is nothing in comparison to religious extremism in India. अगर इंडिया उनके लेवल पे आ गए तो भाई मानो बल्ले बल्ले एंड शावा शावा कर लेना, फटी पड़ी है अपनी इधर। How was the authenticity of the Owaisi clip questioned by the court? भाई साहब और बहन जी जो भी हैं आप, मुझे पता नहीं, पुलिस के इन्वेस्टिगेशन के स्टैंडर्ड्स तो कभी स्टडी करो हमारे देश में, सर मार लोगे दीवार पे. Doval ensured Iranian finance minister that Nupur will be taught a lesson, paraphrasing, which was later removed from Iranian website. Government versus BJP in dilemma. I don't know about this, so I will not comment on it. भाई देखो, मैं दोवल साहब से फोन पे तो बात नहीं करता, अंकल क्या हुआ, तो मैं उसका आंसर कैसे दूं? आरे मध्ये डेपो येणार, थोड़ी गुड न्यूज तरी आहे आज. सो मराठी में कहा है सुशांत ने. व्हाट सुशांत इज सेइंग, द आरए डेपो इज कमिंग बैक इन महाराष्ट्र, and at least that's a good news for the day. Yes, that's a very good news, Sushant. Yeah, in case people were wondering what language that is Marathi. That is my first ever Marathi super chat, so I'm very happy. Thank you very much, Sushant. You reminded me of my great state, and I do believe Maharashtra is a great state. Is Hinduism start staring at extinction as a religion like Native Americans and Australian Aborigines? It's time to have serious discussion. Bhai dekho, I had that podcast with Abhijit where he said end of Hinduism. Let me tell you emphatically that I disagree with Abhijit to the core on that one. And I will never agree with him. Hinduism is not going to die. Hinduism is going to survive. And we are not going anywhere. Our gods are not going anywhere. Our way of life is not going anywhere. Our culture is not going anywhere. Our puja paddhatis are not going anywhere. We will fight. And this is coming from a disbeliever, by the way. Hindus don't have a homeland. Between 1192 and 1947, we were second class citizens. Finally, last 75 years, we saw some freedom, but that is gone too. Boss, it is not gone. Please don't be so negative. Things are getting better at an objective level on a daily basis, but sometimes we have to show our anger too. And the courts need to see our anger. That's why I'm angry. Beheading, not okay. Courts making these comments, not okay. Governments kowtowing around this nonsense, not okay. Stone pelting, not okay. Blasphemy laws, not okay. That is the point. Do not be so negative. Things are getting better on a daily basis. That's my whole point. Let's not, you know, all hell is not broken loose. पिन करने की इच्छा नहीं थी मन में, पर एंटी एब्सोल्यूटिस्ट लॉज आर आल्सो एब्सोल्यूट, लाइक एब्सोल्यूट फ्री स्पीच पर हैज, बस ओपिनियन चाहता हूँ. देखो ऐसा है कि जब आप अर्र करते हो ना एब्सोल्यूटिज्म में, तो दो टाइप ऑफ एब्सोल्यूटिज्म होते हैं. या तो आप एब्सोल्यूटिज्म ऑफ फ्रीडम रखो या एब्सोल्यूटिज्म ऑफ नो फ्रीडम रखो. अगर आप एब्सोल्यूटिज्म ऑफ नो फ्रीडम रखोगे ना, तो आपकी जिंदगी ऑब्जेक्टिवली ज्यादा टट्टी होगी. मगर एब्सोल्यूटिज्म ऑफ फ्रीडम रखोगे ना, तो आपकी जिंदगी ऑब्जेक्टिवली ज्यादा बेहतर होती है. तो अभी आपको टट्टी जीवन जीना है कि अच्छा वाला जीवन जीना है, वो आप निर्णय कर लो. एक मिनट, मैंने किसी मुस्लिम का कमेंट पढ़ा है इधर, और मैं उसको हाईलाइट करना चाहता हूँ. नॉट टू पिन हिम, so this is not my attempt to pin him. This is my attempt to engage with a Muslim in my live chat, and I mean this sincerely. इनका नाम है मोहम्मद सादिक. मोहम्मद सादिक कहते हैं, if this type of incident happens in the name of Gauraksha and kills the innocent people who was a diver, Muhammad, as a Hindu, as an Indian, I am telling you, I condemn that equally. People who kill someone because they are supposedly carrying a cow or something are wrong too, and the law should pin them too. Now, Muhammad, will you in the chat type that I, as a believing Muslim, not agree with Gustake Rasool ki ek hi saza sartan se juda, that is not on. Also, I, as a Muslim, understand if people do not think that Prophet Muhammad is their prophet, so they are not attached to it. Ball is in your court. Also, I'll add, Muhammad Sadiq, if you don't like Shri Ram, Sita, Krishna, I don't care. I don't expect it. Your turn, Muhammad. Partition of India was the best thing that happened. I don't know. I've not made up my mind on that. So I'll reserve my statement. I have to think a lot of that. Hmm. और क्या है जी और क्या है जी It pains me to say this, but what Macron did after Samuel Paty's incident and what our leadership is doing differentiates what a developed nation can do and what a developing nation can do. It doesn't pain me, Samir, at all. This is what people like myself, Abhijit Iyer Mitra, etc., have been saying, that, for nationalism, for machismo, that Twitter nationalists showcase all the time. Huh, it's just all bollocks. The fact is, we are a third world country, and this entire incident proved it. Mm, we will have to convert to Islam before buying a house or a car, since that seems to be the only way to safeguard. Oh, don't live under that assumption, my dear friend. Even if you convert to Islam, aisa kuch nahi hai. The mob doesn't care. The mob destroys everything in its way. Mob does not give a shit about you. Mm. Supreme Court made me so angry. Well, welcome to the club. All of us are angry. I always condemn killing of innocent Muslim over cow issues. So does my family. I'm agnostic, but my family is devout Vaishnavite. Well, look, you're decent human beings, Shreyans. Any decent human being would. Mohammed, I asked you a very simple question. Do you condemn the statement Gustake Rasool ki ek hi saza sartan se juda sartan se juda? Do you accept that in a modern civilized democratic nation, even a secular nation, there is no place for a call like that? It's a very simple question, Mohammed. And I repeat, I don't care if you like my gods or not. I don't care. My gods are not weak. You can say what you want to about God, Lord Ram. It will not affect me. But can you condemn Gustake Rasool ki ek hi saza sar tan se juda and say it has no place in this society? That's all I'm asking. And nobody will abuse Muhammad Sadiq. Be nice to him. I agree with freedom of speech, but I don't think India is civilized enough to get rid of 295A. India does have a democracy. It is a chutiacracy. Chutiacracy तो नहीं यार. Don't be so condescending about Indians. तुम भी Indian ही हो, ज़्यादा मत बोलो. We will be ready. समय लगेगा थोड़ा. यार इतना भी हम नहीं है यार. Can Modi, Yogi actually even support things like abolishing 295A? All the left parties will support the blasphemy law. What is the legal recourse for a Hindu accused of blasphemy? It seems jihadis will get them eventually. देखो भैया, ऐसा है, हमारे देश में कोई भी ब्लास्फेमी लॉ जाने नहीं वाला है इतना जल्दी। मगर क्या होगा, वो कब जाएगा, जब हिंदू ब्लास्फेमी लॉ को यूज करना शुरू करेंगे, जो उन्होंने कर दिया है। जैसे ही वो होगा, लेफ्ट को लगेगा, ओ तेरी, ये तो पासा पलट गया, अब इसको निकालो। वही होने वाला है, देख लेना। What will happen to Bengal? I don't know, man. I don't make predictions. Hmm. Ajit Bharti did a roast on Modi a few hours ago. I will. Ajit is wonderful. He's such a wonderful speaker. Man, I wish I could speak as well as Ajit did. He's so talented. Can you please point out why you're abusing Abhijit? हैं? वो कौन से अभिजीत को मैंने गाली दी है? I've applied for student visa for Canada. My goal was to come back to India and start a business. I don't think so. I'm coming back. I feel like shutting my mouth for life. First of all, do not shut your mouth. Second of all, if you go to Canada, start a business, do it, make tons of money, and send it back to India. Some of it, not all of it. Mm. A group of illiterate people have given those statements, but this doesn't mean we all support the statement. We condemn why you are saying we support, but we heartily you condemn the incident. Very good. You don't support the call for Gustake Rasul ki ek hi saza sartan se juda. Very good. I'm happy, Mohammed. Then you are with me. You're on my team. No problem, sir. You're a civilized human being. Hmm. Hmm. The ex Muslim movement will be one of the greatest in desensitizing the Muslim community. Many of these ex Muslims were trained in Islamic theology and great engagement from Muslims. Please get ex Muslim Sahil on your show. Okay, Sushant, I'll consider it. I'll try to talk to Sahil. By the way, Sahil's got balls of steel, man. That guy, oh my goodness, he's got serious cojones. Oh my goodness. Woo, woo, woo. The guy's got balls. That's all I can say. I am watching you and I have tears in my eyes. My heart aches and I feel helpless as a nobody in the country. I'm a proud Indian, but I'm afraid to support Nupur. My heart supports her. Well, first of all, Ritika, you should not cry. All hell has not broken loose. We are getting better daily and daily and daily and daily. Like I said, every revolution comes at a cost. Every change, every societal change has come at a cost. Do you know, when in our own society, when we would fight against casteism, you should read Guru Prakash's book, last book on the story of Dalits. You know what Dalits used to go through just 125 years ago in India? They would have to announce if they are walking on a street to the other so-called upper caste कि मैं आ रहा हूँ, मैं आ रहा हूँ, मैं impure हूँ, मैं आ रहा हूँ. They fought. They never gave up. Look where they are today. They are equals. Don't give up. You can cry. I don't cry, but you can cry. But don't give up. You do not underestimate. Mm, we have 10 more minutes. व्हाट डिड यू गाइस हैव फॉर डिनर? मैंने कल क्या डिनर में खाया, मैंने एक पिज़्ज़ा स्लाइस खाया और पनीर पराठा खाया मैंने। यहाँ पे सरप्राइज़िंगली मानोगे नहीं, मैं तो एक छोटे टाउन में रहता हूँ अभी, वहाँ पे भी अभी इंडियन खाना स्टोर्स में आ गया है। What are your thoughts on second generation Indian immigrants losing touch with their roots and becoming like Ro Khanna? Can it be prevented? Absolutely, Anish. It can be prevented. Don't lose hope. The Indian community, look at the Indian community in UK, look at the Indian community in Canada. They're very much cultured and rooted. There are some in America who are ultra woke on steroids, but it's okay. We can reach out to our own people and we can reach out to them. We have to incentivize it. Ro is Ro. You know what? Uska naam hi Ro hai, yaar. He's not even comfortable with his own name. He's Ro. That says a lot about him, right? The death of blasphemy law will eventually desensitize people when it comes to listening to insults to their gods. Agree, Mr. Nalaude? I agree. Hmm. Can you call the apostate prophet on the? वो आ चुका है. He's come on the show a long time ago. Look, I'm not interested in the ex-Muslim movement. 1%. I'm being very open. I've said that. I have nothing against them, but I'm really not interested in the movement. If there are some ex-Muslims in India, maybe, but I honestly am not interested. I'm much more interested in Muslims, practicing Muslims who are reformers than ex-Muslims. That's just my mindset. Like I said, I find the ex-Muslim movement to be very crass. I find them and their way of dealing with Islam very crass. I would not appreciate. I just I just find the whole methodology very crass. That's my opinion. I don't want them to be censored. I want them to have every right to say. That's all. How do we call ourselves a secular nation and then have special blasphemy laws for one particular religion? अभी मैं क्या बोलूं? We are not a secular nation. We are a religious nation, which is semi Sharia compliant. I feel more betrayed by Muslims in India as they are 100% Indians, like unlike Muslims in France, and sad to see Islamists in India waging a war against their own nation, culture, Hindus with whom, look, we don't know how many in India are like this. I think most Indian Muslims are just like you and me. This is unfortunately the case of the violent and very vocal minority, and we need to fight them all together with the good Muslims. You need a law in order to abolish 295. Only then I agree, but it cannot be like ये पहले लाओ तो ये लाओ, दोनों पैरेलल ही आना पड़ेगा ना. वो मैं कह रहा हूँ. Mm, do you think Hindus should vote for Republicans in America? I think Hindus should ally with right wing movements in Europe, USA, Israel. Depends on which state, who's the person fighting from that state. It is all dependent. I think in some, like if you were in Florida and it was Ron DeSantis, I would say yes, vote. Depends on which state, who's the politician, who's fighting. I think America is a little more decentralized, but yes, I think the Hindu movement has to now slightly go towards the conservative movement temporarily. Although I think this whole anti, this whole pro-life extreme stance of the Republicans is very, very, very weird for me. Like I think India has the most mature abortion law ever. I sincerely believe the Americans could learn from India, but then, it's the United States of America. They don't need to learn from anyone. Let's see. What else is there? Okay, I think I've taken all the questions. All right, guys, this is the last 5 minutes. So, can I take this last 5 minutes to again make some closing remarks before we wrap things up? Um, so, a lot of you, as you know, I'm in North America now. So, I was there in Ottawa. I had a wonderful time. Surprisingly, some of the podcast viewers were there in the audience too, which was surprising to me. They did turn up in Ottawa. So I think on the 16th or 17th of July, if you are in the greater Toronto area, in that region, I am going to have a meetup there. It is being organized by the Coalition of Hindus of North America, Canada, the Canada division. And once they come up with the dates and everything and what they do and what they're doing, I will make an announcement and I will let you guys know. Similarly, if you guys are in North America, because in the United States of America, so if you can organize events like that in America, you can email me and I will put you on to people who are organizing this. I think today in the AMA, some of them did take up the thing. So do not involve me in this, but you you have to do it your own way. I don't know how you're going to do it. Contact Kona like they did in Canada. I might It might happen in America too. You can do it in Chicago, either New York, New Jersey, Florida, Texas, California, Arizona, Phoenix, in that area, in and around that area. These are some of the places I've given, so you guys can do that. We have two questions and then we'll wrap up. Partition would be the best thing in the history if there was a population exchange. If there would have been a population exchange, there was no population exchange. Away from Udaipur episode, how serious is the risk of creating mercenaries out of people let go after 4 years from Agniveer Agnipath? I'm not able to understand. How is Agniveer Agnipath going to create mercenaries? I think you've completely misunderstood the entire policy itself. So I don't know what you're saying. I don't know. So आप क्या बोल रहे हो मुझे कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. कुशल, देयर विल बी अनदर इवेंट ऑन जुलाई. ना तो यही ना 16 और 17 वाला, यही मैंने जो बोला है वही कर रहे हो ना तुम लोग. तो वो है, और कौन सा है मुझे नहीं मालूम. मुझे तो एक ही ईमेल आया. ओके, हाँ, जुलाई 16th. सो जब वो होएगा, ये लोग कनाडा, देखो आप ग्रेटर टोरंटो एरिया में होगे अगर, या टोरंटो के 3-4 घंटे आसपास होगे, वीकेंड पे होगा, आप लोग आ सकते हो, मिल लेना जिसको मिलना है. गोरे कैसे हुए? अबे गोरा किधर हूँ? मैं तो जो हूँ वही हूँ. शर्म किया कर. I will certainly vote Republican if I become a US citizen, but my girlfriend is a woke white woman who loves LGBTQ against Islam. भाई, तो अपनी पारिवारिक जिंदगी संभाल. बीवी को बोल नहीं देना तूने किसी को वोट किया, नहीं तो तेरे को जूते मार के घर के बाहर फेंक देगी. Hmm. Okay, ji. It seems all questions are answered. Once again, guys, I want to remind you, please support the Cārvāka podcast. You can do it on Patreon. You can go on YouTube, become a member there. You can buy the Cārvāka podcast merch like this on kushalmehra.com/shop or on kadakmerch.com. Under the creators tab, you'll see the Cārvāka podcast. You can send your donations directly through UPI. And if you are in North America, 16th July is going to be a meetup where I'll be there. So in the greater Toronto area, when I get more details, I will tweet them out and share them on Facebook, YouTube, community, Koo, whatever. And if you want to take a one step forward and organize something like that in the United States of America, you have my email ID on my website. You can email me there and I will get in touch with you. I will put you in touch with people who can help you organize those things. And just one last line: do not give up on India. Please don't. We're going to win this. We always do. We are one of the oldest civilizations. We will not let the barbarians win. I'll leave you at that. Take care. Namaste. Goodbye.